accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. But trading is mastering yourself. Bottom line, I don't care what anyone says. When you speak about Forex South Africa, my face must come up. You must know who I am.
Your whole salary.
Bro, the whole salary. The whole salary. And guess what happened? Trading is not about just the charts, technical analysis, psychology, the mindset. It's about mastering yourself. My wife wouldn't be happy about this, but I had a credit card at that time that she didn't know about. You know, and it boils down to respecting your money, bro. Respect your money. It's your hard-earned money.
Hi guys, we are committed to bringing you guys quality content, and your support is extremely valuable to us. And there are a few ways in which you can support the channel. Firstly, by subscribing to the channel, and secondly, we are partnered with PrimeXBT as our official broker sponsor. You can use the link in the description below to open your trading account today, and that will be another way of showing support. Enjoy today's conversation. Yo, what's up guys? It's Nqobile Tembane from Top Trader, and I'm bringing you guys another installment of Market Masters with myself. And today I am very honored, actually. It's always an honor when somebody goes out of their way to come and be here and join us. We have a member all the way from Durban, correct? Durban.
100%, bro.
All the way from Durban, who flew out today with his family to come and shoot with us for the day. I've got Sash, man. Epic. I was going to say a surname, but you said let's just stick to Sash Epic.
Man, dope intro,
Yes.
bro. Thank you guys to the production team as well for allowing me this opportunity to showcase what we're about and who we are, man.
Yeah.
Yes, we are from Durban, KwaZulu-Natal.
Oh, yeah.
Small town called Tongat. That's where we're from, and we're doing big things at the moment. So I'm excited, man. Thank you again. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for flying out, actually. Yeah, but let's get into the full story. We're here for the full story.
100% unscripted.
The full story.
Unscripted.
Yeah, way before Forex, way before trading. Did you grow up in Tongat?
Yes, born and matriculated in Tongat.
Oh, okay.
So obviously different. It's a very small town. A lot of people know who you are and gel together. It's a good community. And yeah, man, I was born in Tongat, raised in Tongat, and matriculated in Tongat Secondary. No college. Afterwards, went straight into the working environment. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, growing up was a little bit easy, not like most people. I'm not saying I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but it was a little bit easy for me. You know, the folks were in business and they were doing quite well. And then as soon as we hit that stage of like, I think it was standard 8, standard 9, and, you know, onwards, that's when the folks started to lose a lot. And, you know, I was a son in the house. So especially in our community, you know, you gotta look after your parents. And I didn't hesitate, man. I went straight into the working environment, straight into a call center environment. But yeah, to answer your question, bro, I hope I'm not talking a lot.
No, we are here to hear you talk a lot.
But man, to answer your question, yes, born and brought up in Tongat. Still love it. Never forget where I came from.
Yeah.
From your daily life to global markets, the line is thinner than you think. Energy, rhythm, choices around you, never standing still. What feels ordinary is part of something greater. PrimeXBT turns what surrounds you into opportunities.
Did you have any aspirations to want to study after high school?
Yeah, definitely, man. I think everyone at that stage would want to study, but once you start getting a taste of the working environment and the money, it tends to fall away. And that's why I always say, even to young guys, like guys that are still in school that join our program, and I'm like, guys, focus on that first, because at least you have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
And but yeah, man, I wanted to get into the law field, but we had to go work, bro, and provide for the family.
Yeah. Do you feel like that took away something from you, or did it add something to you? Like having to make that decision, because you're saying you were the son at home and responsibilities, obviously, you had to step up.
So I wouldn't say I have any regrets, bro.
Okay.
I'm a very determined person. I'm a very motivated person, and I've excelled in every single field that I've been in. Don't get me wrong, I'm not putting myself on a pedestal, but I feel if you're driven enough, you can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. Hence me sitting here now, and I wouldn't say that I so desperately wanted to study, but obviously you had friends and mates going into campus and the campus parties and not being able to go for that. And you're waking up in the morning, putting on your uniform and going to work. But man, I don't have any regrets, bro. I sit here today completely transparent. I've been through the mill, man, and no regrets at all. So I don't regret not going to campus. There was like a sort of a program that we did join, but that turned out to be a bit of a bogus program with international qualifications. It just turned out that they wanted us to work in this particular call center and study for half of the day. But nevertheless, look, man, no regrets. That's it, man.
Nah, beautiful. So what was your first job?
I actually just out of matric, man. It's actually a funny story. So at that time, remember, I was a DJ. Remember I told you we spoke about this. And the guy that normally does the sound production and stuff, he said, hey, dude, I'm going for an interview in Gateway, which is in Amshlanga in KZN. And do you want to go to the mall? Because normally I go to the mall, just get a few T-shirts or whatever the case may be for the weekend. And he's like, okay, cool, come with me. So I jump in with him. And he was like, man, I'm hungry. It was early in the morning. I was like, I didn't eat supper. I'm hungry. Let's go grab a bite. So I was like, okay, cool, no problem. Now, bear in mind, I have a sandals on, a shorts, and a T-shirt, not groomed, nothing, okay?
Yeah.
So we're sitting at this table and having breakfast together. I think it was at that time Mimos or Minos or whatever it was called. And the guy that was interviewing him was sitting across the table. So they just basically started the interview while I'm sitting there eating with them. And they were like, man, what about this lighty? Is this lighty working? What is he doing?
Yeah.
And then my mate told him, hey, listen, no, man, this was looking for a graph as well. So I looked at him like, I'm not really looking for a graph, but if this is the case, yeah, cool. I'm going to jump along and jump along with this. So long story short, he asked me a few questions and I went straight into a call center, man.
Oh, gee.
And he was actually getting into a call center that dialed an MTN campaign. And that's where everything grew for me in terms of the mobile networks. And because I've been in Cell C, MTN, and Vodacom, and on the business side as well. So I was really, really successful in those fields while still trying to trade and blow in accounts.
So when does trading actually come into...
Look, dude, I would say trading comes in about 6 or 7 years ago,
Okay.
It came to a point where, and this, I'm saying this unscripted, we were going through a tough financial situation. And I think it's what attracts everyone. It's like, I've got a problem and I can fix this. Okay, I saw this guy on Instagram and this guy's making money, so I can do it. So I needed to be able to make money quickly. And what I was earning at that time wasn't doing it for me. And man, I bought everyone's Forex course. I was on everyone's signal group. But 6-7 years ago, man, I went into it, tried to learn everything. There's so much of information out there now. And it didn't work out, man. For the first 2 years, I was losing a lot of money, you know. I remember the turning point was I was sitting at work and I didn't even know what was NFP. I didn't even know what was a news day. And I'm sitting at work and I just got paid. I was earning 20K a month. I took the whole 20K, put it into my MT4 account. Dude, we've all been there. And I'm like feeling so confident that I can make this happen and turn this thing to 100K.
Your whole salary.
Bro, the whole salary. The whole salary. And guess what happened?
Well, most people would assume.
The 15-minute candle didn't even finish, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Boom, gone. Gone. I still got bills to pay. The lighty was 2 years old at that time. Diapers, milk. How do you go home and tell your wife you blew everything? But thankfully, man, she's been supportive of the journey, you know.
A blessed man you are.
Definitely, you know. So, yeah, man, it started 7 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry for digressing, but 7 years ago, the dream was born. And I wasn't academically, you know, like inclined in school. I wasn't recreationally inclined. Like I wasn't a soccer player or cricket player, man, you know. But I felt like with trading, especially now, like I found my calling, bro. You know, I found my calling to be a blessing to those around me and to have a mentor and to represent and to be in somebody's corner, because I didn't have that. I didn't have somebody I could pick up the phone. Hey, bro, I just blew 20K. Where the hell did I go wrong? You know, I didn't have that. And I think that's very important, man. Coming to one of the points that we may talk about in the future, is having a mentor is very important.
Yeah.
The right mentor.
No, 100%. And we're going to get into that. So, you know, you mentioned something that you came to a point in your life where you needed to make more money. Do you think that do you think that's the wrong approach when you're approaching Forex? I know it's about making money. I get that. I understand that fully. But I think people want to make that quick money. Do you think you approached it in the beginning for that first 2 years? You were just coming in there saying, I need to make fast money.
Definitely, 100%. I think people need to understand that Forex is a business. And if you treat it as a business and understand that in each business, you're going to have losses. In each business, you're going to have days where you're making money. But if you're getting into Forex just to make money quickly, to pay off maybe a medical bill or to pay off whatever it is, it's not going to happen, bro. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. Yes, you may take a few signals. What happens if that signal provider closed down? Something happens to him. He's driving I don't want to mention any car names here, but he's driving his fast car and boom, something happens to him. So what happens, you know? So coming back, that's a very important question, bro, because people should understand that this is a business. And with businesses comes gains and losses. So it's very important that you understand that. And getting into Forex is getting in to learn the skill. You know, I can lose, and I spoke to my wife about this the other day, I can lose everything right now. Because, you know, when you start making money, the head gets a little bit big as well, you know, and you got to get humble at some stage as well. And I can lose everything right now, everything that I have, everything that I own. And the one skill that you can't take away from me, or anyone can't take away from me, is the skill of trading and the skill of analyzing the charts and getting into the market. I can go and wash 10 cars and make $500 for it, you know, and fund my account and start trading. I've been there, I've done that, you know, where you trade from nothing. So getting into the Forex market just for the quick buck or to pay off an expense, it's never going to work out for you, bro.
Yeah. So when you started out, you're working and you're trading simultaneously at the same time.
Yo, what a nightmare, bro.
Really?
What a nightmare. You know, remember, Epic Forex, so us, we only public for the past 4 or 5 months now,
Okay.
where we providing free signals. Our mentorships are free. Everything is free. There's no hidden cost. There's no subscriptions. All you have to do is have your account affiliated and trade with us, because obviously I'm not going to lie and sit here in front of you and say, yes, brokers do pay traders commission. But the commissions we make is minimal, bro, compared to, that's why you actually need to know how to trade.
Yeah.
And there came a point where remember I told you I was at the call center, then I went to Celsi and into Vodacom. And while I was at Vodacom was where the trading started to get a little bit good, and the skills started to develop. And I was fortunate enough because the position I held at that stage was I was office bound. So unless I had a meeting or unless I had to go out to a client, I was the guy that stayed in the office and ran the business. So the charts was always open on one screen, so you're always watching.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate there. But
what makes you say that you're fortunate?
Because look, bro, and this is coming from having conversations with people on my channel, a lot of them are working 9 to 5s, and trading is about escaping that 9 to 5 and the freedom that comes with it. And a lot of them miss the signals, dude. They're like, I just missed the signal.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, bro, there's so many days left in a month, don't be disheartened. They speak about FOMO and fear of missing out and all of this stuff. Don't be disheartened. So it's quite difficult for an individual to focus on the charts if he's not actively able to look at the charts when he wants to.
Yeah.
So that's a difficult part. And I saw the brunt of that when I was at We Buy Cars,
Okay.
I was a buyer for them. A lot of people don't know, bro. I've been around, bro.
Yeah,
I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere, bro. Maybe I might be in your seat just now.
The list is getting longer and longer.
No, man. And it'll tell you, bro, I've always been a person to achieve. And I really love that job, man. I loved being able to drive some fancy cars and some cars you wouldn't want to drive, bro, but very family-orientated business as well. And a lot of who I've developed myself to be and customer-facing and speaking to clients comes from that. But it was a challenge, especially I sat with the decision, do I resign from work and continue with my dream? Bear in mind, I have an 8-month-old baby at home. I have bills that I need to pay. Do I just tell the salary, right, laka, cheers, dude? Or do I push myself and get out there? And thankfully, man, God's grace, we've been making it. We've been making money. And look, we are trading as well, so that helps a lot. Trading, making money, and the bills are always going to be high. It keeps getting high. You know that, bro. So it's difficult. Bottom line, it's difficult to have a job. Like with We Buy Cars, I was a buyer. I literally had to take an iPad, go and evaluate a car. Now, how can you evaluate the car? The customer's standing next to you and you busy trying to sell gold or catch a move on NAS 100. It's not going to happen. So I made that decision to resign from work and trade full-time, and that's where we blew up with Epic Forex, and we have a good reputation thus far.
So when you decided to resign, were you profitable at the point?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. That's like financial suicide, bro.
Literally.
I'm not drinking water because I'm nervous. I'm just thirsty, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I had to obviously saved up a little bit.
Okay.
And saved up a little bit, had some funds in place if something does go wrong. I do have some funds to cover me for the next few months. And thankfully, man, I used that fund to buy a Rollie. So it was just great, man. Trading's been great. I just love being in front of the charts. I love being in my studio. And I love just being there. I treat it as, some people call it, what's freedom if you go into your studio at 8 in the morning and leaving at 6 in the afternoon. Bro, that's something I love. I can sleep there if I have to. My wife sometimes has to call me and say, hey, listen, what time are you coming home? Don't you know we have supper with this person or that person?
Yeah.
So trading, man, being in front of the charts is the big thing.
Yeah, so let's just go back a little bit.
I'm talking a lot, eh?
No, and that's good. Trust me. So we're at this point
100%.
we're at Vodacom right now. Because I heard you say something that while you were at Vodacom, working at Vodacom, you started. That's where the trading was coming together.
100%.
What were the factors that were contributing towards the trading to come together rather?
It's the harsh truth, and that is that I needed to catch a big wake up when it comes to risk management.
Okay.
And understanding how to protect your capital, whether it was just $500 or whether it was 10,000 Rand that you trade in, protecting that capital and risking a portion of that and setting yourself a playbook and a rule book that once I hit 60 pips, I'm done for the day. Or once I hit this certain stop loss or this percentage of my account, I'm done for the day. And I'm not going to sit here like a saint, bro. You know, sometimes it does get the better of you. Sometimes I do say to people on our channel, you know what, let's go in a little bit harder. But I make sure I'm 200% correct when it comes to a situation like that. Because then you're playing with people's money. But where it all started to gel was me understanding that trading is not about just the charts, technical analysis, psychology, the mindset. It's about mastering yourself as an individual. And if you have a gambling mentality, if you have a gambling mentality and if you have the mentality of just making money quick overnight, forget even stepping foot in this industry. It's never going to work out for you. So mastering the self, bro.
Yeah. You know, you posted something on your Instagram, 8 mistakes beginner traders make. I'm just going to go through all of them and then we'll just break them down one by one.
I made all of those mistakes, eh?
Okay.
So I'm practicing what I'm preaching, eh?
Then let's go through them one by one so that you can explain what the mistake you made there. So the first one we had was no trading plan.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a trading plan. You don't know what you're actually working for. It's not going to work out. How can you not set yourself a goal? Whether it's a small goal, just for the day. I need 20 pips. I need $200 for this day. How can you just go into the market and not have a plan? This is going to work out. Never.
What was in your plan, your trading plan at the time?
My trading plan was to make $300 a day.
Okay.
At that time.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what? 2015, 2016.
Okay.
To make $300 a day. And it was difficult. Although it was $300, bro, it was difficult.
Yeah.
Until I could master myself and master my emotions. If I took a loss, that's it. Chart closed, we're done for the day. Close up shop. Done. And once I began to master that, it was smooth sailing, bro. Soon after that, it reached a point where I was only trading 3 or 4 times a month. Because remember, in my trading career, I was still working. Okay. And I was only trading, not news days. Okay. I was only trading when I find the A+ setup, which I'm going to discuss a little bit later. The setup that I look for. And I was only taking those trades. So I was making a lot more money on just 3 days in a month. You know? So until it became a thing where I saw myself sitting in a position like this and teaching people. And I said, I'm not going to be able to do that if I'm just trading 3 times a month, bro. So no trading plan, forget about it.
But how does one's trading plan eventually evolve? Because right now we're talking about a man who was saying, I want to make 300 Rand a day, to going to a place of saying you're only trading 3 times a month, or 3 times a week or 3 times a month, but to trading less, going from 300 a day to trading much less. So what were the decisions that influenced your trading plan to evolve over time?
So I began journaling.
Okay.
While having a trading plan, I began journaling. And then at the end of the month, I would sit and look, okay, where did I go wrong and why did I go wrong? Like, man, I can even open up my notes now. I journal every single trade up until now. I make it my duty, even if I find that the setup didn't work, why didn't it work? Did I enter at the wrong time? Did I not see that maybe there's a bigger picture out there? So coming back to what you're saying is, how did I develop from trading and trying to make $300 a day to trading 3 or 4 times a month? It's me understanding that overtrading was killing me. Overtrading, being greedy, was my biggest hurdle and challenge in trading. Because I got a taste of making the money very quickly.
Oh, yeah?
I got a taste of making, I wouldn't say like millions, but I got a taste of making 100K, and then I was like, okay, cool. I did it before, I can do it again. And then you start chasing, bro. And it never works out. So journaling, having a plan, journaling, and understanding that overtrading was killing me was the turning point in my trading career.
Yeah. Number 2, risk management. I know you already touched on that, but I want to go a little bit deeper into that. What was it about risk management that you were missing that you feel like a lot of people miss?
It's coming back to what I just said, bro. You see, what happens is you get caught up because you know that you made, for argument's sake, 100K. And now you know that you did it last month. And you know that it is possible. Okay, so Forex is not a scam. Okay, so maybe this guy's strategy does work, or whatever the case may be. And when you try and chase towards that, you start to break off your rules when it comes to risk management. You start to look at risk to reward ratios that are completely unrealistic, bro.
1 to 1.
I'm laughing because I've been there.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you're risking like 100 pips just to make 20 pips. It's pointless, you know? So, bro, risk management, when it comes to people, there's so many videos on YouTube. There's so many guys that sat in this seat explaining it. But I feel the missing link or the missing piece to the puzzle is that understanding, yes, this is my risk management, but understanding who you are as a person and your character as a person. Am I the person that's going to go back in the market and chase the market, or am I a person that's going to say, I made 50 pips today, I'm happy?
How do you control greed when a trade is running?
Jeez, bro, that still haunts me, especially, when you close the trade and it's like TP, TP hit, TP3 hit, and generally you leave a runner and then we close the runner at 100 pips, 200 pips. I'm talking gold now.
Okay.
And then as soon as you close, bro, the O keeps running, bro. The O is running. He's running for days. It's like literally the market just waited for you to close. And he's running, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, if we just held on. But the biggest thing for me is understanding that I have 800 people or 1,000 people that's looking to me as a leader and as a person to follow. And if I don't exercise good risk management and I don't exercise a good trading plan and not saying, okay, we missed out on this, forget about the FOMO. If I don't be disciplined and if I'm not disciplined enough, then I'm not a leader and this business won't be successful. So that's what pulls me in line, and that's what keeps me in line. But it haunts me, man, up until now, like yesterday, man. I literally closed a buy on gold and gold just shot up.
Yeah.
But I was happy. We closed our London session trade and I was happy. The guys were happy. Everyone was happy.
Mm-hmm.
But then deep down, you also feel like, I should have held. But what could have went wrong if you held?
Mm.
You know? So I think helping with that is having a runner,
Okay.
a trade at break even to run. So you open, for argument's sake, maybe 4 positions. Let the 4 positions run. Once it reaches a certain point in a market, bank 3. Leave 1 to run at break even.
Okay. I see. But you see, that's the thing. I think you're mentioning something that I think a lot of people do struggle with a lot. It's like having a trade that you close and then the market keeps going and then you're not part of that. So I know one of the things you listed there was FOMO, because I think a lot of us have the fear of missing out on a lot of things. So how do you overcome that now?
I think it comes with time, brother.
Uh-huh.
Honest truth, it comes with time. Because sometimes you want to dive back into the market, and I remember this very clearly when I was still, chasing things. Sometimes you wanna dive back into the market, and you'll get cleaned the hell out. So I think you need to get cleaned out first. You need to blow those accounts. Once you sit in there and you can't eat food and you can't breathe properly because you just blew your salary or blew the last money that you had, it puts you in a point to understand where did you go wrong. Now, most traders give up at that point. Most traders are like, I'm done, I lost too much. But a determined person who can understand their weakness and understand where they went wrong, automatically you become a 1% trader. Because you're accepting that in the market, it's not going to move for me or you and Nqob. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to move for us. The market moves the way it wants to move. There's algorithms. Everyone's on hype about ICT now, and I'm no discrediting any of the traders. But ask yourself one question. Why does a fair value gap fail sometimes? Why does an order block fail sometimes? It's because people don't understand that there's algorithms built into the market to understand and wipe out retail traders like us and wipe out the majority. Because the market's designed for you not to make money. But once you align your strategy, you stick with a strategy that works for you, and you get over the fact that, this could have been. You're in the game, brother.
I think, you're mentioning something about how people lose so much and then eventually they just never come back to the game.
Yeah, man. It's sad. I haven't personally mentored anyone like that, but I've heard, when you heard of people hear of people saying, man, I lost 200K or 300K trading and it's not for me. It's just sad that the experience that they had to go through was that experience and not the experience of hearing the harsh truth, number one, and not learning the right way. Because I feel if you learn the right way and if you understand the truth about this industry and the truth about making profits, it's not big profits. It's taking a portion of what's there in the day for you and calling it a day. And it's just sad, man. A lot of people lose a lot of money, but they don't understand why. And they just get into the market blindly and don't understand why it's actually moving. Yes, I will never discredit any trader. And a lot of the guys in the industry will tell you that. I'm a very speakable person too. I can speak to you. I will never snub you off. No matter what type of trader you are, whether you're a trader with 35,000 or 100,000 followers on Instagram, or you're a trader with just 2,000 followers or no followers, in fact. I will never discredit any trader because I know what it's like to build this business from the ground up. But at the same point, choosing the right mentor is very important, bro. Very important. Choosing the right person, like, hey, this guy, I've been watching his things, I've been checking him out. He's posting his withdrawals, he's posting his losses, he's posting his wins. He's the guy you're actually speaking to and not a support bot. I'm not firing shots. I'm not. Like I say, I have a lot of respect for everyone in the industry. A lot of the guys have given me pointers, especially because I was a trader. I didn't know about running my own Forex business and my own Forex academy. I didn't know anything about that. So I reached out to a lot of guys who helped me, at the beginning. Some of which was good, some of which was bad advice. But, bro, you need to understand what you're doing and who you're following. That's it. End of the story. You can get traders sitting here or traders with you for a long time saying, I made this, I've done that. Yes, no problem. Clap hands. 100%, bro. We're happy for you. But are you able to give the person the right set of skills or teach the person the right set of skills and teach the person the rules? Have a rule. Just like what we spoke about just now, the journal. Have a plan, have a risk management strategy as strong as your trading strategy as well.
Revenge trading. Let's talk about revenge trading.
Bro, you're hitting all the nails today. Hey, revenge trading, bro. Man, funny thing, when I made that post, that was me speaking from my heart. It wasn't me just copying things from ChatGPT or AI or whatever. It was me saying, if I had to look back at my journey and how far I have come as an individual, as a trader, as a husband, as a father, as a brother, how far have I come in my journey and in my training journey. And that's where I came up with those points of no trading plan, FOMO, revenge trading. And I revenge traded a lot, man. I remember my wife wouldn't be happy about this, but I had a credit card at that time that she didn't know about, and or no one knew about.
Yeah.
And when I'd lose, I'll fund.
And it's easy to fund.
Hey, quick, bro.
Hey, fast.
Very fast now. It's those days there was no Apple Pay and all of that. But the card was loaded, bro. Go and try and do your deposit, your withdrawal.
Yeah.
Your withdrawal. Try and do your withdrawal after that. Days. System errors, And thankfully we structured ourselves with a good broker now, and withdrawals are like what? 7 minutes.
Yeah, no, majority of brokers have a good withdrawal rates compared to back in the day.
Yeah, compared to back in the day. But I don't think anyone as good as my broker as a good... No, man, I have a very family-orientated relationship with HFM, and they're a good broker. And they've been with us for a long time, and we're happy with the relationship. I don't know what it's like at other places because I haven't been at other places. So that's home for me, and that's where I'll always be. But coming back to your point of revenge trading, bro, it happens to everyone. And overcoming that will only determine, or you'll only be able to determine that when you sit with a problem. Like, look at, okay, Sash, I blew this whole credit card because of revenge trading. And I wouldn't say I blew that whole credit card. Don't get me wrong, guys. But when you sit with a problem and you understand that, okay, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have went back into the market. I say this to my students. Just before you want to get into the market, take your hands, put your hands here, sit on your hands, and count to 50.
Sure.
You know how much that helps, bro?
Yeah. I can.
Do you know how much that
I'm
that
visualizing it actually, because I'm thinking back to days when I had my moments of revenge trading. If only I just sat on my hands.
Sometimes you're waiting for John Wick in the market there, the Wick candle. You're waiting for him. There's John Wick. Boom, full leverage, gone. Because John Wick ends up being a bullish engulfing candle or being a candle that's crazy. So sitting back, waiting for your setup to happen, being patient for the market to come to you.
Yeah. Let's talk about that patience. Because I know we're living in a generation where I think patience is something that's lacking a lot, more than a lot of us would want to admit.
Yeah. Unscripted, uncensored, am I right?
Yeah.
It's something I lack as well. It's something that I'm improving on as well as an individual. Because sometimes you want to chase a move. It's natural, bro. It's natural. Like you see a move happening, let's chase it. And then majority of the time, it doesn't play out in your favor. And then you sit back and you're like, okay, cool. If I was just a little bit more patient, and I'll explain it in my strategy. If I was just a little bit more patient to wait for this to happen, I would have been in a better off situation financially in terms of my capital in trading. So patience is very important, bro. Very important.
Can you give like an example of a day where you felt like patience would have played a very important role? And that day you were not patient at all?
I'm talking personally because, look, on our group, we minimize our stop losses, man. We don't have stop losses of 400, 500 pips. We've got small stop losses. So if it hits stops, we out, we done. But myself, man, I remember I have a rule, like I only trade 2 times a day. Sometimes if we trade, it's pre-session trade. So pre-London session or pre-New York session. And then actually New York session and London session. So 4 trades on a good day. But ideally, if I don't see my setup playing out before London, then I'd wait for London. But man, like I remember when I was mastering this strategy, not mastering it, when I was learning it,
okay,
I forced it. I forced the phases that I'm about to speak to you guys and showcase to everyone this afternoon. I forced the phases. And you forced it, bro. You got the whole thing going on. You got the whole thing. I'm laughing not because I'm laughing at myself, I've got to sit at this point. And I said to myself, and we spoke about it over the phone. I said, no, bro, we're just going to be having a conversation, man. So if I hit any grammars or anything, But what I'm saying is understanding that just that little bit of patience, bro. Okay, if this thing hit my stop loss now, it's hit my stop loss. Okay, why did it hit my stop loss? Let me just sit back and watch. Let me watch what's happening. Okay, hit my stop loss, but it's staying within a range. So it could be that price is in an accumulation. Could it be that price is in a area of consolidation? So patience will end up showing you the bigger picture.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's very true. Why do you think 90% of traders never become consistent?
It's because of the word in that question, bro. Consistent. Bro, if you want to be a Formula 1 driver, can you just wake up one day and say, I want to be like Max Verstappen? And jump in a Formula 1 car and start driving like Max Verstappen without practice? Without understanding what are your strengths and your weaknesses as an individual? Guys, forget about the charts. Step away from the charts. Stand in front of the mirror. Ask yourself, who am I? What am I trading for? Stand in front of the mirror and ask yourself, who am I as a person? Why am I trading? What are the 5 reasons I'm trading for? Where do I want to be? And when you can answer those questions for the right reasons, whether it could be to buy a Lamborghini or whatever the case may be, but understanding and mastering yourself as an individual, understanding that, hey, look, bro, I'm a person, I love to talk. I talk like all the time, man. But understanding that sometimes over talking could be, I'm using me as an example, could be a weakness. Or sometimes saying too much could be a weakness. Or sometimes me being an impulsive person could be a weakness. Understanding and mastering yourself and understanding what are your flaws and what are your strengths. And then go look at the charts, see what happens, bro. People don't tell you that. They say, trading psychology, risk management, FOMO. Yeah, but if I had R1 million, I'd just take 20 perps and a 200K in my pocket. Yeah, bro, 100%. You're 100% correct. But trading is mastering yourself. Bottom line, I don't care what anyone says. When you're able to master yourself as an individual, then you've become part of the 1%.
Okay, let's go into your daily trading routine, because I know you spoke about the studio right now. That's where you spend.
I love that place, bro.
Oh yeah. What motivated you to get a space for trading?
Like I told you, bro, I wasn't academically inclined in school. I wasn't the sports athlete. And when I finally started to see that people's lives were changing, and man, it's all over socials, bro. I'm sure you've seen it. Like how people have been making profit and how they're changing their financial situation, moving out from a 1-bedroom apartment, a family of 3, and getting into a proper house, buying a new vehicle and things like that. And then I said, you know what, man, I'm also I wouldn't say I'm a very spiritual person, but I also have a good relationship with the Almighty, and understanding that you need to have that relationship as well is very important. And I found my calling, bro. I found my calling. There'll be haters, bro. There'll be people who push you down. There'll be people. I'm a very giving person as well, man. There's people message me on Instagram, hey, bro, lend me $200. Hey, bro, I don't have any food to eat, And I've been helping those people and trying, but then only to find out that those people are scamming me, Yes, it's $200, but at the end of the day, you're a giving person. So that's where we started to get the admins involved on the social media and all of that, because unfortunately, this is the industry we're in. People look at you like you've got money falling out of your pockets, So, man, it's, as I always say, it boils down to, I found my calling. I knew that people's lives around me was changing. The people on our channel was changing. Their lives, their financial situation was changing. They were able to move out from a 1-bedroom studio apartment to a proper house, and buy a new car and a whole lot of, the list goes on, bro. It's all over socials. I'm very transparent about my testimonials, results and everything. And understanding that, man, I sat down at home like a one-on-one with myself. I was like, man, maybe this is my calling. Maybe this is what I put on earth for, to be that 1% trader. Bro, I want people, the reason why I'm here, man, I want people, when you walk into Durban, I know a lot of people are not going to be happy with me saying this, or wherever, when you speak about Forex South Africa, my face must come up. You must know who I am. And that is why I do what I do for free, and there's no hidden cost.
Let's go. Let's talk about your daily trading routine, because right now the studio is there. It's there now. Then there's the daily trading routine. How does that go?
100%, bro. So look, man, as soon as I get up, I look at the charts. I focus on a few pairs. And then I look at what setup is actually playing out and where I am and which phase I am in the market. Once I'm in the studio, I then obviously do a lot of administration and check up who wants to be added to the groups and who has any questions or account-related issues. We facilitate all of that. And then when we start heading into our London session, that's where, I don't take any phone calls. The family knows as well. I don't like to be disturbed because I like to see what's actually happening, because a lot of my success boils down to me being able to provide a good service and an accurate signal, and being able to teach. Because it's not just, bro, anyone can just go and give a signal. Somebody can go and take a signal from somebody else's group. Man, there may be people taking signals from my group and posting it. But what I'm saying is, if you're able to explain where you went wrong to your clients, or what happened in that trade, or why the trade moved in such great profit, then it's more than just a signal. You're teaching somebody. So, man, that's my routine. Like I would stay up in the studio until New York, the start of New York. And if we trade in New York, then I'll still probably be in the studio. But I don't like trading and driving, trading and being on the road. That's not me, bro. I like to be in my zone. I like to be in my studio. I got some jams going, the hubbly going, and just to myself. I know a lot of my mates want to join, but I even cut that off now, and like, guys, this is work. This is me working. It's not just us chilling, playing a simulator, relaxing. No. This is work. We've got a lot of people looking up to us. We've got a lot of people looking up to me, and I've got to be able to deliver.
Now, how do you handle drawdowns? Because I think every trader has been in the position where you were caught in a drawdown. Or have you ever been caught in a drawdown that was very uncomfortable for you?
Too many times, bro. Too many times. I think it was last month, man. It was like about 400K. 400K drawdown. I told myself, no, man, I'm only going to risk 200K. But I let it go. 400K. I'm not going to sit here like a saint, bro, and say, yeah, I've mastered risk management and I've mastered that. Every single day, the markets will teach you something and you'll learn. And it's just that at that particular time, there was conflicting news happening with gold and Trump and everything that was happening. And I knew what phase I am in the market. I knew, and it wasn't even a counter trend trade. It was a trade where I'm trading along with the actual trend. So in the back of my mind, I knew, okay, at some point this was going to turn. That will never turn, bro. He carried on dumping until I'm like, no. We're done. And I stepped away from the market for the rest of the day. Obviously, my mood wasn't good, man. Look, like, people need to understand when they take a knock from a signal, I also take a knock. I'm trading the exact same thing. I'm not just got a small robot there that's physically spitting out signals. No, man, we're doing this thing. We're not small boys. We're doing this thing by ourselves. So when somebody takes a knock, we also take that knock. They taking a knock of what? $200-300, which is also money. We got to respect that. But we're losing big money as well. The guys that's actually mentoring you and giving you signals. So how to handle drawdown, bro? There's no answer for that. I'll be lying to say
it's just going through
it happens in a spur of the moment, but being able to tell yourself like, whoa, this is enough now. Like, I had a bar in that account, but it was actually like a success story for me.
Okay.
So one of my posts on Instagram, man, I'll show it to you, but we were down, I think we were up like just over R1 million on that account. And then we took that 400K knock. And then within 2 days, man, we made 600K on that account. So it was actually like, it turned out to be a success story, like a testimonial.
Yeah.
Where we were able to pick ourselves up and come back. But there's no answer to that, bro. I wouldn't be able to answer you in terms of how do you handle the drawdown. Just step away from the market, cut your losses. I think that's what I do. No one can sit here and tell you, no, I'm able to trade every single day and make big money and not take any losses. I think losses and drawdowns, let's not confuse them. Drawdown, I'll hold up until my stop loss, bro.
Okay.
You know? But adjusting those stops doesn't work well. Never do that.
Yeah.
Never do that.
Just take your L and go home.
Take your L and go home.
Yeah.
Jump in your car, go home, done.
After taking a loss, how do you deal with those emotions after taking a loss?
I go for a jog, bro.
Oh yeah.
I know I don't look it, but even if it's a small jog,
Yeah.
I go for a jog, bro. Clear my head out. You know? I don't go home, kick the dog, fight with the wife, be a grumpy person. Maybe I am in a dampened spirit because it's natural. You're human. You're not a bloody robot. You know, but clear your head. I say this often. I'm surprised you didn't see it yet. Reset, readjust, refocus. 3 words. Forget about everything I said in the interview, in this podcast today. Reset, readjust, refocus. Once you take an L, come back the next day, clean mindset, readjust yourself, refocus yourself, get back in there. Don't chase the loss, but trade what you're actually seeing in the market.
Can you explain that down to a beginner? Because I think a lot of people don't understand what you mean by don't chase the trade.
The previous loss.
Yeah, the previous loss. What does that mean?
You know, like, let's for example, right? Let's say I got 1,000 Rand in my account and now I'm down to like $800.
Okay.
Okay. I've been trading, and then I took that account to 2,000 Rand and now I'm down to $800. So I lost quite a bit. Now, what happens to a person naturally is they know they're able to trade. They know they're able to look at the charts and make some profit. But then what actually happens to them is they take that loss, come back the next day, and then boom, try and make the whole thing back. Baby steps, bro. Baby steps. That's what it is. You lost $800 today. Tomorrow you make $200. You got $600 more to go. Don't try and make everything back at the same time. It's not going to work out for you. As a new trader, beginner trader, don't try and make everything back in one go. It's not going to work out.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the industry as a whole?
Man, do you know that South Africa has the highest trading volume, or one of the highest trading volumes in the world? So, man, this industry is big in South Africa. I think predominantly because we could potentially earn in dollars. So it's 17 or 18 times your money, which makes it a very lucrative business to be in. And I think that there's a lot of stigma attached to this industry. And I think that with the right guidance, with finding the right person that would suit you, you know, there are some traders, and I'll never discredit any trader. Like I said early on, there are some traders that physically just dish out setups and signals. And if that's something you like to do, then go for it. But if you like to actually learn as well, as opposed to just taking signals, then 100%, you know. But this industry is big. It's bigger than you and I. It'll continue to be here. There's a lot of hate, you know. You're gonna get the hate. I'm gonna get the hate.
100%.
The broker's gonna get the hate. Everyone's gonna get the hate. You know, the funny thing is, bro, like, there'll be people like that will leave a particular group and then say, message me like, hey, Sash, I've been on so-and-so's group and he blew my account. Do you know what's my response, bro? I probably didn't even speak to that particular individual in my life. But my response is like, how did you blow your account, bro? What happened? It's like, no, man, the whole week he was giving like good signals. And then all of a sudden on Friday, all of his signals were bad. And I blew my account. So I said, okay, well, send me a screenshot of your MetaTrader and let me have a look. And then when you actually look at it, bro, people are over leveraging. And it boils down, we can harp and speak about this all the time. It boils down to respecting your money, bro. Respect your money. It's your hard-earned money. I don't advise anyone just giving up their job and start trading. Respect your money. Create a second income, a passive income. When that becomes a block or a stepping stone for you financially, bro, kill it. Start your own Forex business, give signals. Hallelujah. Go for it. But become consistent at it. Don't just give up everything and look at how Sash is living or this person is living and that person's living and I want to be like that. Okay, so I need to give up my job or not respect your money and just over leverage or open because Sash is trading. I mean, the most I traded was like 15 lots at one time, bro.
15 lots.
15 lots in a single position.
Trading gold.
Trading gold, bro. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is?
I have not traded
That's like
that much.
sweat. That's sweat, anxiety, everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Respect this industry. Respect the gifts. Respect the people that are working behind the scenes. The people that, like yourself, that are always on the move, on the hunt to bring out and give something back to the community, man. And I think with us respecting each other in the industry as mentors will make us look like good leaders as well.
100%.
But the moment we start throwing shade on each other and the moment we tell, this person, he's known for blowing accounts, bro. I don't want to know what happened with you and him. I don't want to know what happened with you and her. I want you to understand where you went wrong. And where you went wrong is you need to catch a wake up. You need to catch a wake up because you over leverage. That's why you blow.
You're a signal provider.
100%.
And you just kind of mentioned something that's so crucial with the whole signal industry. I want to call it an industry on its own. Is that you'll find that people will not take accountability and they'll put on someone else, the signal provider, and be like, no, this trader A, blew my account, but you were the one taking the signal and you didn't use risk management, you didn't leverage, you didn't use proper leverage, you over leveraged and all those things. How do you feel about that?
That's a sad part, bro, because we all look at those, we look at, when we watch somebody's podcast and you go in the comments and you see people commenting hate and saying, this guy blew my account, he blew my account. And a new trader, I just want to put you into perspective. A new trader, somebody that's starting off in this industry, goes and watches that podcast and looks at that comment, this guy blew my account. Automatically, you're creating doubt in that person's head. Automatically, that person's going to believe what he just saw. But he didn't realize or understand that that person who commented was over leveraging. So, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it as a signal provider. You can be as harsh as you want to be, as strict as you want to be with your mentorship students and with the rest of your team and everyone. I don't call people my clients. I call them my team. It's our team. We team Epic Forex. We're here to revolutionize the game. We're here to change how people look at us, how people look at the Forex industry. And people are winning, man. So that is why, and I proudly sit here today and say, I can literally count off my finger the people that left. There was about 4 or 5 people that left, as opposed to everyone that's still there. Maybe people take a break from trading, but they're still there. They're still communicating. So unfortunately, bro, whether it's you or me giving signals, people are always going to hate. And let them be.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not going to change who we are. as people. It's not going to change our vision and where we see ourselves in our business. If you want to take the signal, bro, take it. You're not forced to take the signal. So we can't do nothing much, man. They blew the account. Yes, it hurts, but they broke their set of rules. Coming down to the first thing we spoke about. They broke their set of rules, which is over leveraging.
You trade gold.
They call me the London master.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I picked up that nickname all of a sudden.
Yeah. Primarily because you trade gold, or
no, it's because the London trades are like 98%, bro, 99% always.
Yeah.
You know, we coming from a good week, a 5-day winning streak, 0 losses, few break evens. But gold is a commodity that will always increase in value. So you would know that your buy setups are probably going to be stronger than your sell setups. But there's so much of noise, bro. You know, there's so much of noise. Like, I watch a few strategies online. I'm constantly evolving. And why I say this is, like, when I started trading, like, the in strategy, I don't know if you know about this, was Beat the Market Maker, BTMM, by Steve Morrow, with his indicator, TDI, RSI, this, that. Yeah, and when everything lines up, boom, what happened? This guy told me this, you know, but what used to happen was, like, at that point, everyone was trading BTMM. And because everyone was trading this, the market makers, they develop algorithms. There's AI bots. There was bots in place in the market that, okay, everyone's in this trade, in this BTMM trade. Let's stop them out. We know Steve Morrow's concept was a 30 pip stop loss. Let's stop them out. Boom. The markets will constantly evolve. And if you don't evolve as a trader, and if you don't put in the effort to try and learn most of the strategies, not all of them, the important strategies, market structure, okay, smart money concepts, some of those strategies, you know, the one that I'm going to speak to you about that and show you guys and show the rest of the world today, you know, is what works for me personally, what works for my students. But there's so many other things that we can add on to there. But constantly develop yourself. You know the saying, bro, does a doctor become a doctor by watching 5 YouTube videos? Then he calls himself, I'm Dr. Nqobile. No. He studied, bro. He studied for how many years? You know? So, in order for you to become a master trader and a good trader, you got to keep developing yourself. You got to keep watching. You got to see, hey, okay, there's a new strategy. Everyone's doing ICT now, fair value gaps, break of structure, change of character. Bro, trust me. Everyone's doing that now. So what are these people going to do? They're going to hit your stops, bro. They're going to hit your stops. So I know it's sounding like a little bit scary, but what I'm saying is that if you constantly adapt and constantly know that there's algorithms built to hit that, break through that fair value gap and it becomes an inverse fair value gap or whatever the case may be, if there's algorithms pointed towards that, then I'm sure there's a trading strategy out there that you could use to make that better or to understand that that's going to happen. I'll show it to you, don't worry.
Yeah, no, we can actually go there right now.
100%.
Actually. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right. Sash, right now you are gonna...
Definitely. That's what we're here for, bro.
That's what we're here for. I think you're going to walk us through your strategy right now.
100%.
And we'll have it up on the screen for you guys, so you can take it away.
So one thing to understand, bro, this is one of the strategies and the core strategies that we teach, okay? But before we dive into the strategy, I just want people to understand basic market structure. And you know that in the market, you get higher highs, higher lows, okay? And that will in turn form a uptrend or a bullish market. So ideally, you want to be buying at a low price and hopefully it will go up, okay? And then understanding that the reverse to that is actually a downtrend, which is lower lows, higher lows, lower lows, lower highs, all of that. And that's also called a bearish market. And understanding that you want to take sell positions from those type of scenarios or phases. And then a very important one is understanding that I've just showed you that the market can move in two ways, but the other way that it moves is in a range, which is an accumulation phase as well. Okay. And some people call that consolidation. But it all boils down to what we actually teach and what we actually do, which is drum roll. AMD, accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. These three phases are vitally important to me and to what we stand for and what we teach. Understanding which part of the market you are in and which phase to link that to is important. Okay? So accumulation, manipulation, and distribution is the core basis of our strategy. For this example, bro, I'm just going to go through the 16th of October, which was a few days ago. And I want you to understand, and everyone to understand something, that this type of setup will always present itself 2 or 3 times in a week, sometimes even more. Okay? So ideally, what you want to see is you want to see price accumulate. Okay? You want to see price break out of that range, create a double top, which is probably an M formation, okay, and then eventually distribute to the downside. The reverse of that, okay, and stop me if I'm going too fast, is price breaks out of the range to the downside, creates a double bottom, and then distributes. So the accumulation phase is called accumulation, the range phase. The manipulation phase is the breakout, is the actual breakout, which is called AMD, which is called the manipulation. You get the double bottom, and then the move towards the upside is the distribution. All right. Now, seeing that take place and seeing that happening in the market ideally puts you in a scenario or in a position better than the rest of the traders. Why I say that is because you could potentially predict what's going to happen next. Okay? Now, we could potentially predict what's going to happen next, right? I just want to do this very quickly. So let's dive into the live market, bro, because that's the only way people are going to understand this. Okay, ideally we want to find the accumulation phase. Okay, so you could see from the 15th of October into the 16th of October, I drew a box. Now, essentially, this is my accumulation phase. So I know what to expect afterwards. And what to expect afterwards is the manipulation, the break towards that, is the market makers are manipulating the market, accumulating orders, tricking people into thinking that the market's going to continue buying or continue selling. In this example, we're looking at the market actually breaking out. Okay? Now, we're looking at the market breaking out. We know this is a manipulation phase. What can we expect next? Is a double top or an M formation, and then a move towards the downside.
So when do you actually know that the manipulation is over now?
That's the trick. Okay. But you're moving like 2 steps ahead of me.
Okay. No, do you think?
So I'm gonna get to that. Because that's a good question. Okay. But let's understand and try and identify the range, the tight consolidations in the market. Okay. And where you see that is actually here. This is happening. The market is ranging. Okay, I can take a trade even in the range. I can take a trade even in the manipulation stage. You know, it's identifying and being sure that you're in this stage. Okay, so we wait for price to break out. Okay, we had a small retest of this range. That's one confluence already. Let's trade the manipulation. Quick 50 pips. We're done for London session. Trade the manipulation. Okay, so we draw a range. Price broke out, retested at this point where I'm drawing this circle. Okay, take a small trade up there, 50 pips. We're in the game. All right, so we're in the game. But then now we've got to wait for our M formation. We got to wait for the actual bigger move to happen. And that can take a day to form. That could take a few hours to form. And if we had to skip to the next area, which is here, you can see this M clearly forming. Not one time, bro, 2 times.
Yeah.
2 times. And I think we even caught, I definitely know we caught this move here. This was a big move for us that we caught. So understanding which phase you are in the market is very important. Now, coming back to your question, my brother, when do you know this is going to happen? You know of a thing called support and resistance, supply and demand, all of that. I'm not saying forget about all of that. I'm saying what we need to do is you need to identify which are your strongest levels. And I'm giving everyone the secret here today. It's simple. Yesterday's high and yesterday's low. Mark those 2 levels down. Bro, it's an immediate magnet. The market is going to come test that level, if not break that level or reverse from that level. Okay? So if we had to go back, all right, or even a bit forward. Let me just move this out here, guys. All right. Okay, we know we've got our M formation and we caught a trade or whatever the case may be. Now I want to actually go in and mark out yesterday's highest point, okay, and yesterday's lowest point in the market. And I want you to understand something, okay? These are our immediate magnets. I've just drawn it in a purple line, okay? Everyone can see this. If price breaks out of that range during the Asia session at midnight, our time, South African Standard Time, and price trades back into that range. Now, this range that I'm calling is the range between yesterday's high and yesterday's low. Okay? But the perfect place for us to place our trade is in between yesterday's high and yesterday's low. Confusing, guys, but let me show you. We find the middle area. Now we've got 3 levels drawn up. We've got yesterday's high, we've got yesterday's low, and I'm not being too accurate with this. Let me just do that. Just now we have some comments in the box. Okay, yesterday's high, yesterday's low. When price comes to the 50% line or half of that line, we can expect to take a trade towards yesterday's low. How many pips that is, bro? That's 400 pips. If price breaks towards the upside, we could expect price to hit the previous day high off yesterday. Okay? Now, I want you to understand how powerful this is, right? And obviously, if there's any questions, bro, please go for it. I want you to put yourself in a position where you I'm explaining it to a 4-year-old right now, right?
Sure.
Because we want to try and get this out there. We want people to understand. That's what we spoke about over the phone. All right, so we've got our 3 levels drawn up, okay? Remember I told you we had our box. Remember our box? We had our box, sorry. Let me just do this again, guys, forgive me. we had our box drawn up. Okay. We had our box. We knew that this box was our accumulation phase. Right? We knew that price is going to go up, create a double top in this area. Okay. And then come towards the downside, which is your distribution phase. If your distribution phase is targeting yesterday's low, you already have 3 confluences to enter the trade. If you see the move happening towards 50% of that range, you know that price is going to come, is going to push down to that magnet zone of yesterday's low. So it's simple, bro. People overcomplicate these things. Yes, there's a few other things that we look at. And I mean, if anyone wants to learn more, I'm all over socials. You just find me, But ideally, we want to show you that you can take a trade from any one of these positions, have your levels, which is yesterday's high, yesterday's low, and your 50% range of that, and understand that this is how the market is most likely going to move. Forget about higher time frame analysis. I'm not discrediting that.
Okay.
But bro, think about it. By the time you wait for the daily candle to turn bearish, is how long? It's a whole day. So you're essentially going to be sitting in front of the charts the entire day trying to catch the move.
What time frame are you using?
Bro, I use the 15-minute time frame.
15-minute time frame. And what's the risk-reward ratio that you usually go for?
Look, bro, your stops are so tight that you're on at least 1 to 3 at minimum.
Okay.
Risk to reward.
Okay.
But if we look at this trade for argument's sake, in terms of risk to reward, let's go in with a short position right here. Okay, and then we want to adjust it to at least that wick and targeting yesterday's low. Bro, look at that. That's a risk to reward ratio of 4.8. Don't complicate this. Understand number one. First step, understanding what phase we are in. Are we in an accumulation phase? Are we in a manipulation phase? Or are we in a distribution phase? Wake up in the morning, mark yesterday's high, yesterday's low, find 50% between that, use that as your entry triggers. You don't want to be trading anywhere between that. You want to be trading either towards yesterday's low or yesterday's high. And this is an easy scalping strategy. This is a strategy that's been consistent on my group that I teach for free. So apart from you taking a signal from me, you're also learning. So man, this is powerful. This works for me. I mean, I'm not saying ICT stuff or any other stuff or smart money concepts or whatever is not important. I mean, AMD is actually power of 3. You know that, eh?
Power of 3.
Yeah,
explain.
it's power of 3. That's what they actually call it.
Okay.
So, and ICT calls it a few other things as well.
Oh,
but
I see.
These things have been there because it's been in the market, and understanding which phase you're in gives you one confluence. Targeting yesterday's high and low gives you the second confluence, and then, or the third confluence.
Yeah. Is there any way that somebody can confuse which phase they're in?
Definitely.
Okay.
That is why I say you need a mentor. That is why this mentor sitting in front of you today is a person that will always respond to you. Send me a screenshot of what phase you think you're in, bro. And I'll tell you. We'll look at it together. Because I want everyone to be winning, That's who we are. That's our vision. That's what Epic Forex is here for. So, bro, this is powerful, I wish we had more time to dive into something else and dive into more strategies. But this is the core strategy that we teach. Obviously, this is with gold, with NAS and US30. There's other strategies. But this is a simple strategy for our viewers and your viewers tonight to have a look at. Identify which phase you are in the market, one confluence. Remember I said you need 3 reasons to trade. One confluence is, yes, I'm in an accumulation phase. I'm waiting for price to manipulate. That's one confluence. Price is going towards yesterday's high. That's a second confluence. Price retested the accumulation phase. Third confluence. Bang, bang. The success rate on this strategy is crazy, bro.
And what advice would you want to give? Would you give to somebody who wants to master the AMD?
I would say is to backtest as much as you can. Backtest as much as you can. Reach out. Try and understand it. There's a whole lot of videos online as well that you can go onto and have a look at. And understanding the strategy is very important. Understanding which phase you're in. So reach out to us, man. We're humble people, bro. Maybe at that point I will be in the market, but I will definitely respond and say, listen, guys, man, let's just chat about this at a different time. And AMD, it's been there for years, but people just keep messing it up. You can find it on a higher time frame, but essentially, who has massive accounts to hold a 1-day drawdown? No one. So essentially, what we want to do is be in and out of the market, done for the day, done for London. You made your 300 pips. Go walk your dog, take your wife for breakfast, go for a drive to the beach. Do something with your life. Don't sit in front of the charts the entire day. Once you make your money, boom, done. You bank your profit. That's how it's going to work.
Thank you so much for coming. I always enjoy sitting down with somebody who has a heart of giving. Like, you can
100%.
tell so much. Like, people, I've sat down with a lot of people, and not everyone has that heart of, I want to give to the next person, and I appreciate that so much. I really do appreciate that, and I'm pretty sure the viewers at home, you guys appreciate that as well. Free strategy was given today.
100%. There was no sugarcoating, nothing.
Yeah.
This is what I teach every day, and it's been a pleasure to be featured on a podcast that has a visions like yourself, and to the rest of your team. Thank you for having Epic Forex. Thank you for having me on board. I'm sorry if I spoke too much, but we just want to get our point across, and we just want to show people that we're real people and we're humble people as well. Yes, we may be driving fancy cars or dressing up smart and having a healthy bank account, but that all came with sacrifice and dedication, And if I could just share one more thing before I leave, is the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Do you know how powerful that is? If you think you can do something, or if you think you can't do it, you're 100% right. Okay? Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react from it. Thanks for having me, bro.
No, thanks for coming through.
100%.
Yes. And on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. This is another installment of Market Masters with myself. I'll see you guys same time, same place next week. And we're out.